Well, here we are with possibly the most invasive plant in Britain. This is Japanese knotweed. It's a plant that's scientifically called Polygonum cuspidatum, or more commonly these days Fallopia japonica. This is a member of the rhubarb family, and in Japan they don't eat rhubarb, but they eat this plant in very much the same way. It's got the oxalic acid. It's a very sour, acidic twang to the new stems, which are the edible part in the spring as these stems emerge. If you think of bamboo shoots or asparagus and you treat it much the same, you're looking for just the top few inches, 5 or 6 inches or so, and you can prepare them in a whole range of sweet and savoury dishes. One of the most amazing things about this plant, though, is that it contains the compound resveratrol, and that compound has been found in red grape skins, and you can find research dating back to the 50s about the medicinal virtues of resveratrol. It's got a whole list of actions, most notably in fighting cancer and the signs of aging. It's a product, resveratrol, that is bought and sold on the market because it has a wide range of medicinal applications, like I say, and also finds its way into the cosmetics industry, where it's used as a part of skin creams. So basically what I'm saying is that this plant is a fantastic resource and of great economic value. Should we just change our relationship with it a little bit and look at it as such, rather than the enemy, the invasive, the noxious, the virulent, the pernicious? It is just a question of our relationship with the plant, because when you think about the plant in its natural environment, Japanese knotweed is the first plant to stabilize the land from volcanic eruptions, and so in that sense, ecologically, it's got a similar role to our plant samphire, which also stabilizes the silty mud deposits on the edges of estuaries, and is the first plant to then encourage other vegetation to come along and live there. But so basically, once this plant's been in Britain, it has absolutely romped away wherever it's gone. It's got such an ability to grow, even from these nodal points of the stems. If you were to come in here and flail this plant, these nodal points on the stem, when it's actively growing like this, are likely to take root. Any thumbnail size piece of root, if that's discarded somewhere, that will also grow into a new plant. So it's just got an ability to grow and grow on a whole range of soils, from very strongly acidic to alkaline. So you can see why this plant can do what it's doing here, and just takes over in thickets. I'm just going to point you to Peter Becker of the Knotty Food Laboratory in Wiesbaden in Germany, and check that out online on what they're doing in Germany to restrict the spread of this plant now through a method called bionic control. It's essentially treating the plant, well, we're semi-cultivating the plant. You come to it at this sort of height, maybe a few weeks earlier. You cut it down to ground level, cutting it right down at ground level, and then just burn the whole lot. Releases the nutrients back onto the soil. At the same time, they're introducing native species, and then they're coming to the plant over the course of over a month and daily harvesting the shoots. And I mentioned the compound resveratrol. That's a compound that's known as a phytoalexin, and these are products that plants produce to stave off predation, and they're produced when the plant's under stress. And so the nature of bionic control, by coming back to the plant every day as the new shoots emerge, continually harvesting, produces more stress in the plant and produces more of this fantastically valuable and wide-ranging resveratrol. So it's a win-win situation, and obviously in Germany, being far more efficient, they're onto that. And there's some successful projects that are actively reducing the spread of this plant, managing it, reintroducing biodiversity through other species, and then they're harvesting this food product that they're turning into pickles and relishes and jams and sauces. As I say, it's got an array of recipes that you can include the plant in as a vegetable or a pudding, and the resveratrol compound is sought after, and if we can process that, it will find the market. It's got value, and people all across the globe are looking for that compound, and so we're basically wasting millions and millions of pounds on this plant trying to get rid of it. The Olympic Park in East London, I've seen figures of £65 million to clear this plant, with all the toxic chemicals and heavy machinery involved, and it could have employed maybe a few hundred people to harvest it over the course of 3 or 4 years and get rid of it. So Japanese knotweed, hope it's making you think a little bit.